Welcome to K1p1 TV. My name is Ruth Herring, and today I'm going to demonstrate how to do mattress stitch. Now, mattress stitch is a form of sewing up both knitting and crochet, and it's worked from the right side and it gives you an invisible seam once you've finished. So working from the right side means that you can not only match stitch patterns, but you can also match stripes, ferrule, jacquard, etc, etc. So it's definitely my preferred method of choice when it comes to seaming, and it's worked when you're joining fabrics that are running in the same direction, i.e. in side seams and sleeve seams. Okay, so we're going to start off first of all by threading up the long loop that I've left before I've cast on. And I'm going to take my needle up through the cast on edge of side 1, and then I'm going to take it up through the cast on edge of side 2. Okay, now we're going to go in just above the cast on edge and out of the second stitch of side 1, and now we're going to do the same on this side. So we're going in the first stitch and up out of the second stitch of side 2. Just get that tail end out of the way for you. Okay, this is garter stitch. So garter stitch, every other stitch is really easy to see. We're now going to pick up the garter stitch loop on our first side, and then the garter stitch loop of the second side, and match them across. We're now going to go just above the loop on the first side and pick up the bar on the first side, and on this side we're going to go just above the loop, and we're going to pick up the bar on the second side and pull it through. Now the first side we're picking up the garter stitch loop, and the second side we're going to pick up the garter stitch loop. Okay, so that is our garter stitch border joined, and it should look pretty well continuous throughout. Right, we've now reached our stocking stitch main part of the sample. So we go back to side 1 and we put our needle just above the garter stitch and out of the next stitch. That's side 1, and we do the same for side 2. So it's in the first stitch and up out of the second stitch and pull through. Then we go into the second stitch on side 1 and out of the third stitch, and the same for side 2. We go into the second stitch and up out of the third stitch, and we continue doing that all the way up, so into the third and out of the fourth, and repeat that for side 2. There we go. Now, if you're finding that working right on the edge is proving a little bit tricky, it's quite acceptable to just separate your first and second stitch and work by picking up the ladder. And some people call this ladder stitch for that reason. Now, ladder stitch will give you a slightly bigger seam on the inside, but it's still a very, very neat seam, and certainly until you get up to speed, it's worth practicing by picking up the ladder. So I just do a few stitches of the ladder stitch, and then I'll show you the back of the work. Now, because when I made these samples, there's the same number of rows from here to here and there to there, when we reach the tops will be completely level. Right, so let's do a few rows, a few more stitches in ladder stitch, and then we'll look at the back. Okay, so let's turn it over now and look at the back. So this is where I was working just right in the edge of the seam, and it's almost flat. The ladder stitch gives you a slightly deeper seam, but not much more. It's certainly, I would recommend working in ladder stitch when you're starting out, and then progressing on to working right on the end stitch all the way up. So that is mattress stitch, and it will make all your work look like it's been worked in the round. I hope you found this useful, and thank you for watching. To see more video demonstrations, visit us at k1p1 TV or visit our website k1p1.com.